Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Stash Report for Stash Project. Today is October 12th, 2020. We have a few kit announcements this week and a kit tease, and then the majority here will be kit releases. Lots and lots of stuff, mostly from overseas. But there is one domestic kit, and there is one all-new tooling involved. So, yeah, good show, right? Moving right along. So we got the flyer up from Revell for basically what I think is going to be their fourth quarter releases for 2020. There are 6 automotive kits and a boat. So looking at the first page here, the S10 Street Custom we talked about right after the HCMA show in Indianapolis. So there is there up on the top left. Top right is the 1956 Chevy Del Rey. So that'll be just a straight reissue of how it's come since it's been boxed in the California wheel set with the larger diameter tires or larger diameter wheels and low profile tires. It has the lower suspension with the 4-wheel disc brakes for the larger wheels as well. Stock custom parts on the engine. Again, if you've seen this kit or you've possessed this kit since it was reissued in 2013, which has had a reissue between then and now, you know what's coming in that. The box art, I will say, looks good. Box art looks good on most everything, actually. So looks like they finally hired somebody semi-competent that knows what they're doing. Then on the bottom left there, you have the reissue of the 69 Dodge Super B, the Coronet Super B. It is a 124 scale kit, so this is just the old monogram kit. You may recall we did a little speculation when the thing was tossed up on Hobby Search was a 125th scale kit that, oh, maybe they're tooling up a new set of coronets, but nope, just the monogram kit. What is an all-new tool, though, is the Jaguar XKE. That is, of course, the Revell of Germany new toolkit for the year. That is going to get a U.S. reboxing, so that's nice to see in the sense of saving a couple of dollars, I guess. A lot of us would probably prefer to still try to find the Revell of Germany boxing just because it tends to be quite the S show, as it were, when Revell of Germany kits are reboxed. Now, if they rebox this in a box like the Land Rover came in, where it's a kind of a big box, so that wouldn't be too terribly bad at all, but we shall see. That looks like a normal size box. The XKE does include left and right hand drive. So if you wanted to build it as an export car or the traditional quintessential British motor vehicle, you can do so. It is molded in red, so know that going in, so you don't open that box and get that surprise. From looking at everything with this kit in its German release, it looks like they just ran this once, and they're boxing it on both sides of the Atlantic. There's not like the Revell German version is not going to be molded in something other than that. It's going to be molded in red, period. That is a little bit of a change from what we had been getting in the past, where our reboxes of Revell of Germany kits were usually molded in white, where theirs are usually molded in color. It makes sense financially to just do one run and be done with it, but I know there'll still be some people that won't be terribly thrilled with that choice, but it is what it is. Then we have the second page here, which has the Revell of Germany. This won't be getting a rebox. You have to get this in a regular Revell box. Of the T1 Volkswagen camper. Now, this isn't new tooling, as much as it is a modified reissue. The base of the kit is the same Volkswagen T1 van that has been done a number of times. It is the multi-piece body one, the newer tool that came out in, let's say, 06 or so. So this does have all of these sort of camper features added to it. So, cabinets, wardrobes, there's different seats in it, camper stove, there's a window curtains. The windows can be either just traditional side windows or they can be sort of the tri-fold vented windows, which are very, very 1950s, 1960s type of windows. I remember distinctly my grandparents on my dad's side had those sort of crank out tri-fold windows on several windows in their house. So that's kind of interesting to see. It does have EU and US bumpers, so that's a little bit of a different twist on things. And overall, it's a kit that I'm sort of kind of on the fence about. I don't need another T1 van. I have a couple of them, and I haven't built and haven't really even looked at them, let alone built any of them yet. But there's something about all the sort of bric-a-brac and associated pieces that, it's kind of like, buy me, you want to. It's 189 pieces altogether, so quite a big box of plastic. This, I believe, I believe the way this works, I could be totally wrong here, but I believe the way this works is that Ebro is the one that tooled up all of the camper pieces. Because you may recall, Ebro has been towing around a built version of this that says, in conjunction with Revell of Germany, in their Ebro displays in Europe as well as all over Japan. So I believe that they are the ones that tooled up the camper pieces, and then Revell tooled up, obviously the van, and they've merged, did a little combination job here, and this is the end result of it. Then lastly, in the automotive there, you get a reissue of the 76 Chevy Custom van. It does have Tampo printed Firestone Firehawks in it, so they are apparently continuing their tire licensing campaign, which is cool to see. It is very much a shaggin' wagon in the sense that it's got a bed in the back and all sorts of things like that. I think the last time we've seen this van was either Hardy Boys or Charlie's Angels, whichever one of those came out last, which puts it in the mid-1980s. This does have a big made in the USA sticker stuck on the front of it, so I guess for all those people who said that all the tooling that was in the US was sold to Atlantis weren't quite right, were they? And at any rate, this is a custom van. Cannot be built stock in any way, shape, or form. If you go on Scale Mason, you put in 76 Chevy Custom Van Revell kit, you're going to get probably 5 or 6 boxings of this since 1976. Again, through maybe the mid-1980s or so. They're all more or less the same. There's been a couple of versions of it that have extra pieces and parts and things like that. But the overall base of the van is that. And yeah, big boat down there at the bottom if you're interested in that sort of thing. So there's that. The one tease we got is this photo was posted. Well, several photos of this posted, but they're all the front end of the car, so I just picked one. From the new hobby folks, and this, of course, is the BMW M8 in its IMSA livery, which at this point in time is the only livery it runs. You may recall the BMW M8, along with the Ford GT, dropped out of FIA WEC Endurance, which of course is the same series that the 24 Hours of Le Mans runs in. Last year, the only place the M8 in GTE is currently running is here in the United States in IMSA. So yeah, we're going to get, obviously this kit was announced a while ago, has been, toyed with and teased for a little bit of the 2020, and it looks like they're certainly getting much closer to a built test shot. This may actually be a built production shot at this point with the carbon fiber decals. I'm going to guess the carbon fiber is part of a PE set. I see some vents inside the grill there that make me think that they're PE as well. That tends to be the way they do these. They'll build them with the PE set included in the built shot, so you can get the idea of how it all functions together. But there's no release date on that. It'll be 2021, I would assume. I don't think they're going to be able to get this out before the end of the year, unless it's literally in the very last days of December. It's currently not on any kind of release list, even in Asia, so we'll see where we are with that, but at least it's a tangible plastic item. Somebody, they made me chuckle what they posted. Oh, look, it'll be out just in time for them to stop racing it, which isn't too terribly far from the truth. So we can, of course, always go backwards with decals. It ran for, 3 seasons here at IMSA, ran for 2 or 3 seasons in Le Mans, and I'm sure the 24 Hours of Le Mans decals will be popular. So we'll see where we're at with that when it's all said and done with. Over to kit releases, one domestic release, and it is the last of the round 2 kits from September, and it is this, the Milk Trike, Milk Trike, rather. This is, of course, 4 of 6 of the Trike series. It is molded in several colors, including, obviously, blue for the body. There are a number of sets of decals for this to make it into a milk trike, a ice cream trike, or even a pop trike. Yes, a pop machine style thing in it as well. This is at least one of the lesser ludicrous versions of this. I mean, at least it looks like you can kind of get into this and drive it. Not like the last one where the roof is pretty much flat against the seat. So yeah, that one is back out. Now these would cover the 4 of the trikes that have been reissued in the past. I can tell you that the other 2 for sure, now we always knew they were coming, but I can tell you for sure, they have kit numbers and everything, that the other 2 of them will be coming. One of them is going to get a rename because they don't have it couldn't get or didn't want to pay or whatever the case may be the licensing for one of them, but both of the other 2 will be coming in probably the spring of 2021. I don't foresee the one of them coming out in the next 2 months. They're not scheduled to, but as it stands, the other 2, like I said, for sure, are coming. So that'll take us over to Japan, and our reissues here are from Hasegawa and from Aoshima, and I'm looking at this trying to figure out which way is going to be easier because there's a lot of both. I believe there's less Hasegawa, so let's go with that. Hasegawa straight reissues. You get a reissue of the Lamborghini Jota SVR. Within the Jota thing, this is a reproduction of the reproduction. The original Jota SVR was crashed and totaled, and they rebuilt a Jota SVR in its image, and that is what this kit represents. There are a couple of other Jotas, like kit cars done in later years, and some of the other Jota kits that exist are kits of those kits, which really makes them like two kits removed, and they're not at all even vaguely accurate to the real one. This is as close to the real one as you're going to get, because obviously there's no way to measure the real one because it was, crashed into a heap into I think a tree. Might have been a guardrail. But at any rate, the original one was wrecked. Let's see here also, and we got a reshoot of this, the L10B 1968 Mazda Cosmo Sport, Sans Any Figures. Also a reissue of the 1977 Monte Carlo winning Lancia Stratos HF in the Alitalia livery, and a reissue of the 1984 Tour de Course Lancia 037 in, of course, what would be a venerable Martini livery. It's one of the first times Martini and Lancia were together. Were on the 037s. They had a continuing sponsorship partnership for many years afterwards with the S4, the Super Delta, and of course the other later Delta Integrals and whatnot. So famous livery, if you will, there. And then they did a couple of reissues with new decal sets in them. So first up, you have this. It is the Subaru Legacy RS 1993 Rack Rally. You could build either the 7th place or the 11th place finishing cars here. The one difference with this kit from the actual real car is that the real car was running a set of 8-spoke Speedline gravel wheels, and the wheels included in the kit are 7-spoke Speedline asphalt wheels, or tarmac wheels, I guess I should say. Now, Rege does offer, Rege offers this decal sheet. You don't have to buy this kit at all. You can buy another Subaru Legacy, Hasegawa Legacy, and just build one that way. Or they do offer the wheels separately. Spot Model has them in stock, or at least had them in stock. They may go out of stock with this kit coming onto market, so people realize they need different wheels for it. But at any rate, the wheels are available for like €10. It's like $12 if you wanted to go, full on. If you don't care, only people who really know rally are going to know that you're missing a spoke on the wheel. So there's that. And then the other reissue is this. It is the 1994 San Remo Rally Griffon Privateer Run Toyota Celica Turbo 4-wheel drive. And that kit, the car rather, finished 8th, and from the looks of it, the contents pretty well match the 1-to-1 car on the box. It does have those Oz Racing wheels in it. It can always be a little bit of a dubious thing with Hasegawa. Sometimes they made the things in the past, sometimes they didn't, and a lot of times they don't tool new wheels. But this one does with the SO livery. It pretty much matches or mirrors the real one. And that'll take us over to Aoshima, which has a number of just straight reissues. So we'll go down the line here. Reissue of the Nissan Laurel Medalist CLUB.L, reissue of the AutoZam AZ1, reissue of Honda Beat, reissue of the Volkswagen Beetle 1303S Cabriolet, reissue of the Mazda Speed GTC GT Concept. A lot of GTs in that. RX-7. This is a JDM only car. And then we have a reissue, and this is technically the last of the September kits, or actually I think this was actually a August kit, but at any rate, it's been reissued. The Liberty Works, I think this is what, the 1.5, right? The Type 1.5. So this is, of course, the 2019 body part edition kit, where the headlights and grill, or headlights and taillights, front bumper, rear bumper, all that stuff were changed to the 2019 specifications. I still don't understand why we haven't gotten a 2019 street version of the GTR, but hey, Aoshima is just doing their own life right now. And then we also have reissue of the E71, E70 Toyota Corolla. So this is technically a 4-in-1 kit in terms of how you can build it. You can build it as a 1979 car or a 1981 car. That's just the difference between the twin beams and the seal beam. And then obviously as a GT, the sporty quote-unquote version, and the DX, which is a just a more commuter version. So there is that back out. And then we also have the other involved this month, and that is just the regular Volkswagen Beetle 1303S. I will give AOSHA props that when they rebox this, at least they're truthful about the wheels that are included in this. The older Aoshima boxings of this had a real Beetle on the front cover. I don't think it was actually even a Super Beetle, but it just had the traditional, Volkswagen pie plate or wheel covers. I call them pie plate wheel covers. They're technically not pie plates, but just the wheel covers with the steel wheels, and what is in them are the wheels that are on the box art, a multi-spoke sort of option wheel. And, there's a little bit of a, you're trying to build a Beetle with regular Beetle wheels, you weren't going to be doing that with this old iMake kit. And then one of the modified reissues, even though technically it doesn't look it from the box art, is the Nissan Skyline KYALAMI 9 Hours of Endurance. You'll notice it has the SP on the box art. That is your key if you're buying one of these things online somewhere like eBay or Amazon or Yahoo Japan Auctions or whatever, and because the box art on these are pretty close together. Although I think the actual Skyline kit itself is a picture of the actual car instead of this. But at any rate, this kit has been done before. It was reissued a couple last year and a half ago, and this version is a special edition. It has a giant A6 piece of paper sized PE fret included in it. It gives you the rear winglets, the rear wing support, a bunch of different bits and pieces on the outside in terms of body tie downs and the windshield tie downs or the windshield straps and things like that. And then the big chunk of it is on the interior to make the interior look a little bit more race car and robust. And so this is what you end up getting with. The chassis, it said it was rebuilding the chassis. It did not do that. The chassis is the same motorized chassis as before, but you don't see that really when you put it together. But you do, of course, see the interior. And so you get a lot of PE. You're doing pretty much the only two plastic parts that you are using out of this kit, other than obviously the seat and the steering wheel, is the door cards, but you put some PE on those as well to give them a metal texture. But the entire back of the dashboard, all that, the holes up at the top there, that's all PE. The tunnels PE. The rear deck is PE. Like I said, a lot of PE bending to do in this, but it does make the interior look a heck of a lot better than the plastic one does. So for those not intimidated by the PE gods, that is certainly something to consider if you were looking to build one of those 80s Group 5 cars out of a older motorized kit and have something that looks halfway decent when you're done. And then the last Aoshima kit is a Long Ago Far Away reissue. This hasn't been out since the mid-1990s, and it is the MGB Rally Club Spec. I'm not sure what Club Sport, I think is what the technical term is here. And so this includes the 8-spoke mini lights, the below the bumper fog lights, driving lights. This does include window masks, both for the front window and for the hardtop, which is a very nice touch because the hardtop window masks were not included in the street kits. They did include window masks for the up top, for the convertible up top, but not for the hardtop itself. And the convertible up top, the soft top, and the hard top are both on clear runners. So you need masks to cover the windows so you can paint the rest of the paint the rest of the top. So those are included in here. There's a small sheet of PE with like the MG logos and things like that included on it. And there's basically three frets of plastic in here. One has like the wheels and that the buckle that holds the hood down, and a couple of other bits and pieces. Clear runner that has all of the driving lights and the hard top on it and other things like that. Like I said, it's a lot of what you've seen before, and then also the additional things. Like you could build this pretty much any way you could build any of this 60s MGBs because all of those parts are in there, but then it has the rally stuff added to it, well, it's not really a rally. It looks like there's a livery in here to do a complete Tour de Marathon race. Looks like it's a legit livery. I didn't do any kind of like digging and research into seeing whether or not it's a real thing. But you don't have to just build it with a blank round roll. There's an actual pretty robust decal sheet in there for a couple of different racing options. I think one is more fantasy than I think one of them is actually pretty much a real oldie time road race. And then brings us to new tool time. Yes, finally, after much waiting and much anticipation, and I think a year and a half of pre-order, the BMW 320i E46 Super Production Dutch Touring Car Championship 2001 winning new hobby kit is finally out there. So, brand new tool from the ground up. Now, 320s and E30s and E40s are very close to one another. The E40s obviously a little more roundy round. It's also 6 years newer than the Hasegawa E30, or, well, was it an E36 3 Series is. In order to get the Marlboro tobacco livery, you do have to buy the PE set. All of the decals, we've talked about this before, all the decals to do the actual tobacco livery are in the PE set. So all the Marlboro logos and all the wording, all that, are in the PE, along with some carbon fiber that's not in the actual kit. Otherwise, everything you see on the box art is there. It does appear, for some people that actually already have theirs in Asia, that the wheels are kind of janky compared to the real ones. I realize that that's like, what? No, what are you talking about? Yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, it does. It's the real wheels are very much multi-spoked and also have a little bit of a dish to them. The wheels that come in the kit are flat. They have no dish to them whatsoever. And they also seem to be put into like pairs of Y spokes, where there should pretty much be another spoke in the middle of the Y. All the way around the wheel in order to make them the correct number of spokes. I think the real wheels are 14 spokes or something like that, or maybe even 16 spoke, and the what we get are like 12. 95% of people will never know, but it's kind of you waited so long for this kit, and starting right off from the bat without even bothering to try to put it together, you know that the wheels are the wrong wheels. Also, they seem to be under this delusion that Tom Connell won the Dutch Touring Car Championship in 2001, and I don't think that that's right. It might be. It's one of those things where Carly Motors, which is the people that ran these BMW 320s and built them, won every like touring car thing between like 2000 and 2004. Dutch touring, I think they won British touring, they won the European touring, they won the Gear Race Macau several times in a row, and I want to say Vanda S is the one that actually won the championship. Now there's decals to do both cars in there, so that's not the problem. But I don't think that the right cars on the box art. But yeah, that is out. There's going to be in literally a few days because they're going to be coming out this week. Decals to do the 2002 winning car, the 2003 winning car for the Gear Race Macau, as well as the Team Schubert. I think they finished third in 2002. Their car, which are a bunch of Watson's cars, basically, from the Gear Race Macau in Macau. So those options will be out very, very soon. And I know that LB Production plans to do some decals. I think Frankie at SK, who's doing those 3 decals I just mentioned, also has more BMWs planned. So there's going to be quite a bit more decal support for this kit than I originally expected there to be when I ordered just one of them back in the day. Now, without building every version of all of Frankie's decals, now I think I need 6 of them if I was going to build all the liveries that I know about. So, yeah, that was a quick, quiet day. But that's out, and then also the PE set. So we'll mention that real quick on the way out here. So the PE set is obviously sold separately. You can see some of the M's and O's peeking out from the decals there. PE fret has your standard stuff, the belts, because there's belt material. This thing also comes with an air jack connector and the antenna. It does include the mesh for the lower grille, which is nice because then you don't have to use the screen door mesh stuff that comes with the kit itself. There is a newly folded sort of rear deck area that gives the rear deck a little bit more of a realistic look. Brake faces, windshield wipers, and all the rest of the normal doodads and ding-dongs that you would expect with the PE set. So that, guys, pretty much wraps this one up. So hope everybody had a great weekend. I really did not get anything, not a single thing done at the bench. I really didn't. I sat down here for a couple hours yesterday on Sunday. I played a little bit of World of Warcraft, which is sort of one of my other hobbies, if you will. And the rest of the time we were doing a lot of outside I can't really call it landscaping work, but you say landscaping, you think of throwing mulch and planting trees, stuff like that. But a lot of yard cleanup and a lot of open burning of that yard cleanup to sort of get things squared away for the fall and the winter, because it's been cold here in Pennsylvania. It's a little more temperate right now, but it's supposed to be going back into darn near freezing at night again here toward later this week. So we had a really nice day on Saturday before the rains from Hurricane Delta sort of passed by. We didn't get anything, well, certainly nothing compared to Louisiana or the people down south, but even into Virginia, they got 2-3 inches of rain. We got a little bit of light rain on Sunday and a little bit of light rain today, but it was dry and it was nice, and so I'm just sort of rambling now as I close this out. But yeah, I feel like I didn't get anything done model wise, but hey, at least the outside of my house looks nice, so there's that. So anyway, hope your weekend was more productive at the bench or equally as productive with whatever you were working on, and we'll see you guys on the other side.